Have you ever thought of the reason behind Ripple's exclusion of XRP from the liquidity hub? By the way, Coinbase stock rapidly lost its value, but could the XRP-fueled pump have saved it? Stick with me till the end to find out more. Hello everyone and welcome to our channel, where we talk about the latest updates on XRP and the cryptocurrency world in general. If this is your first time watching one of our videos, we happily send you a special welcome. We invite you to hit on the notification bell so you never miss another video. We are announcing that this channel has a giveaway of 200 XRP. To stand the chance of participating, all you have to do is simply subscribe to the channel, like this video and comment with the hashtag XRP, and the winner will be announced at the end of the video. XRP continues to attract buying interest from larger investors. The fifth largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization saw an inflow of funds for the 16th consecutive week, according to a report tabled by digital assets investment firm CoinShares. XRP products have seen assets under management balloon by 127% since the start of 2023, the report noted, largely attributed to favorable developments in the drawn-out Ripple Labs versus the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission legal battle. The SEC filed a $1.3 billion lawsuit against Ripple in December 2020, alleging the sale of unregistered securities through XRP. A federal district judge's partial ruling indicated that XRP sales to retail investors were not classified as securities, providing optimism for both investors and Ripple. Although institutional sales contracts worth $728 million were considered unregistered security sales, the market's interpretation of the ruling remains positive. This outcome underpinned confidence in XRP and the broader cryptocurrency market by helping to set a precedent that digital currencies offered to retail clients do not constitute securities. However, recent bullish sentiment suffered a setback last week after the SEC outlined plans to appeal the federal judge's decision handed down in the case. XRP's price has oscillated within a falling wedge pattern for the past 3 weeks. In recent trading sessions, bulls have attempted to stage a breakout above the wedge's top trend line. However, a lack of volume behind the move places doubts about further upside follow-through. A convincing close above the 50-period SMA has the potential to improve the indecisive sentiment and trigger a rally back up to key resistance levels at $0.7285 and 83 cents, respectively. Conversely, a failure to hold above the wedge's top trend line and 50 SMA could see falls to longer-term support at 54 cents. More importantly, XRP has reclaimed these spots against Bitcoin, prompting optimistic speculations. He then goes on to compare the significance of this movement with the help of some historic clarity. In detail, the XRP and Bitcoin chart reached its highest point since December 2022, hitting 0.0000297 in July. This impressive surge could be attributed to the positive momentum XRP gained following Judge Torres's verdict during the same month. Despite a subsequent decline against Bitcoin, with XRP closing July at 0.00002388 against the dominant altcoin, the token's upward momentum remained evident. XRP managed to regain the 20-day and 50-day SMAs on a monthly basis. Thus, we noted that the last time XRP achieved this feat against Bitcoin was in March 2017. This move led to an outstanding rally that culminated in an all-time high of $3.80 in January 2018. During the previous rally, XRP's price skyrocketed by a staggering 15,400% in less than a year. However, the ATH was short-lived, and XRP eventually lost its gains, slipping below the 20-day SMA in April and the 50-day SMA in June 2019. With XRP's recent surge to reclaim these two SMAs, the educator highlights that the token's return to the 50-day SMA is likely aimed at testing it as support amid ongoing corrections. Now, having successfully held above the 50-day SMA, XRP appears poised for a bullish run. The XRP community suggested diverse topics for which they needed more clarification. The suggestions included the intersection of Ripple and XRP use case, likewise the status of Ripple's on-demand liquidity product. Meanwhile, Bill Morgan, a prominent lawyer known for his pro-XRP stance, asked a crucial question about Ripple's business operations. Morgan asked Schwartz why the firm could not include XRP among the supported digital assets in its liquidity hub. The lawyer believes now, more than ever, XRP deserves to be on the list, given its clear regulatory status. The reason Ripple can't add XRP to the liquidity hub now is that the court found XRP itself is not a security, Morgan inquired. Well-known XRP influencer, Mr. Huber, guessed the reason was that Ripple Liquidity Hub was tailored to cater to the needs of institutions. Notably, Ripple's blog stated that the Liquidity Hub eases buying and selling digital assets for US, Australian, and Brazilian businesses. Nonetheless, the reason for the exclusion of XRP still begs an answer, as XRP is also a digital asset. In the conversation thread, Morgan noted that Ripple's exclusion of XRP for businesses in the United States is understandable. However, he contended why Ripple is not offering XRP in the liquidity hub for non-US institutions like Australia and Brazil. Aren't the liquidity pools sourced in part at least through XRP on exchanges, not direct sales, he inquired. Furthermore, the lawyer argued XRP holds a better regulatory status than coins such as Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin Cash, supported on Ripple Liquidity Hub. Meanwhile, the conversation shifted gears when a Twitter user asked about the difference between Ripple offering XRP to institutions and the hub's supported cryptocurrencies. Moreover, the U.S. court ruled that Ripple's XRP sale to institutions is a security contract. In response, Morgan highlighted that it was unlikely that the institutions Ripple offered BTC, Ethereum, and Litecoin expected any profit from Ripple's efforts. Notably, at press time, Ripple CTO is yet to respond to why XRP is not among the supported digital assets on Ripple Liquidity Hub. Please, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and also hit that notification bell to be the first person to get more updates about the latest happenings as regards to XRP. Riding a wave of optimism, Coinbase, one of the world's leading crypto exchanges, experienced a dramatic surge in its stock price after the pro-XRP ruling in the SEC's case against Ripple. But what exactly fueled Coinbase's sudden gain, and why did it lose these gains shortly after? The root of this development can be traced back to the SEC's lawsuit against Ripple Labs. The regulatory body contended that XRP was an unregistered security and, thus, its sale was in violation of federal securities laws. This case has broader implications for the entire crypto industry, given that the classification of digital assets as securities would require them to adhere to a different and more stringent set of regulations. The positive verdict in favor of Ripple was perceived as a harbinger of regulatory leniency toward other crypto companies, Coinbase included. The community reasoned that if XRP, after its years of operation and widespread adoption, was not categorized as a security, it would set a precedent. This could potentially shield other digital assets and their token offerings from similar regulatory scrutiny. Thus, the pro-Ripple ruling indirectly bolstered Coinbase stock, signaling relief to other crypto businesses fearing regulatory crackdowns. The sentiment was that if the SEC could not establish XRP as a security, other entities like Coinbase might have a more robust defense against any accusations of similar nature. However, the jubilation was short-lived. Despite the initial pump, Coinbase stock soon retreated from its gains. One can speculate that while the Ripple ruling provided momentary optimism, it did not entirely alleviate broader concerns about the regulatory environment for crypto enterprises. Investors realized that each case is distinct, and a favorable outcome for Ripple does not guarantee similar results for other crypto entities. Finally, in the midst of legal rumbles surrounding Ripple and its native cryptocurrency, XRP, attorney John Deaton has once again stepped forward to dispel rising concerns. A recent narrative has taken root, suggesting that if Judge Analisa Torres gives a nod to the SEC's interlocutory appeal request, XRP transactions might predominantly be seen as securities. The present legal scenario stems from the SEC's intention to challenge Judge Torres' judgment regarding Ripple's XRP sales to the public. In a recent move, the regulatory body sought approval for an interlocutory appeal. This appeal aims to scrutinize Ripple's systematic XRP sales in secondary markets and other distributions, especially since these transactions were deemed non-securities by the judge. The SEC argues that this ruling raises substantial legal discrepancies, referencing Judge Jed Rakoff's observations in a parallel SEC versus Terra lawsuit. Notably, Judge Rakoff has contended Judge Torres' separation of institutional and general XRP purchasers. According to him, the Howey test does not make such distinctions. Amidst this discussion, another legal voice, pro-XRP attorney Bill Morgan, weighed in. He furnished documentation indicating that it was the SEC that initially categorized Ripple's XRP sales into three distinct segments: programmatic sales, institutional sales, and other distributions. Morgan elaborated that Judge Torres merely adhered to this SEC-provided framework, applying the Howey test accordingly. In a spirited response, Deaton expressed firm confidence that the appellate court would uphold Judge Torres' initial decision. So we come to the end of this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you like the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. This really helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Also, you can help enlighten others just like you have been enlightened by sharing this video to as many people as possible. Let's get this news everywhere, guys. If you are a true cryptocurrency fan, don't miss any of our content. See you tomorrow to talk about the latest news that concerns us all as a community.